Let's get ready to rumble. Welcome to Jaw Jacking with Bob and TC on IntellectualRadio.com. Again, that's IntellectualRadio.com. I am your host, B.O.B. Bob. But if you insist on getting formal, I will go by the name of Robert Lee Orr Jr., named after my daddy. As always, I got my partner with me, Ron Road Dog, my right-hand man from the South Side.
Wow.
Of Chicago, Illinois.
Yes,
let's give it up for my main man, Martise TC Wash Senior.
What up, Bob? I love that introduction every time.
Hey, man, you need to start introducing me. I
will. That's right. That's what we'll do next week, man.
That reminds me, that come from, when Derrick Rose get introduced. And he was like, from Chicago, even though he went to Memphis, it feel good to hear that Derrick Rose is from Chicago. Hey, I enjoyed Saturday, man.
Oh yeah, I did too. Congratulations.
Yeah, man. My youngest son graduated from high school. He graduated. We had a barbecue for him. TC came out there and dominated bean bags.
Yeah, I'll do this.
You on the streak, man. You got me two games in a row.
No.
Well, not 2 games in a row.
Right.
Two sessions in a row.
Right.
Two different times we went.
Right. Don't say
over your
times.
daddy Kenny crib. They got the bags all crooked and rigged. Them bags all crooked over there, man. But I ain't no excuse yesterday.
Right. What was the excuse yesterday? You couldn't win at all yesterday. I don't play that.
3. Yeah, you got an tail yesterday. I must admit that. But I really enjoyed it, man. It was good. We had a nice time. Some of Justin kids came out there. Actually from a Mexican descent. So we had 2 friends that came from Mexican descent, and their whole families came out there. So it made the whole atmosphere feel real diverse and real beautiful, man. We had a real nice time. The rain stopped. It was raining earlier during the day when we picked them up. It was really raining hard in Aurora. And it turned that day for a minute. It turned the whole day into a long, drawn out, we had to unload, it was like movie in day or move out day. So all of the seniors that was graduating, all the kids actually was moving out that day. We had, we had a whole traffic jam. So it made it long. Rain stopped. We got back out there in Tor Park Forest, man, and we had a beautiful time. Nice time.
Yeah, it was.
It was a real nice time.
Johnny did his thing.
Yeah, on the grill. My brother-in-law Johnny, got to give up shots to my man Johnny and my sister Pee-wee for hosting the event.
Yeah.
My sister Gigi for putting in the work that she put in for Justin and helping me raise Justin as well. I really appreciate my family for that. But I don't want to sit up here and bore everybody with those things. We got a special guest in the building today. He's a friend of mine, an old friend I hadn't seen in a few years. So I want to give him a drum roll, TC. Drum roll. This is a legend in our presence on that basketball court. A flaming jumper. My man, Reverend, the moral consciousness of Ford Motor Company himself, Reverend Derrick Roberts.
Good to be in the house.
What's going on, man?
Good friend Robert Orr.
Good.
I haven't seen you in quite some time. It's good to see you. The jump is retired.
Totally?
Totally retired. I'm retired.
Totally.
I'm more of a coach and a cheerleader
than
a player.
Yeah, well, you had kids that was playing sports too, though,
My
right?
son just graduated from Illinois Wesleyan University with a degree in mathematics.
That's what's up.
Amen. Secondary education. Looking forward to teaching soon and possibly coaching. Matter of fact, he's getting ready to go to New York to work a camp for 3 months.
For real?
Teaching young kids.
Oh, that's what's up, man.
That's what's up.
You got a master's. I remember you getting a master's. What'd you get?
A master's in divinity from Northern Theological Seminary. My undergraduate is from U of I here in Chicago.
And you got your own church too, also, right?
Yes, I'm currently pastoring the Restoration of Faith Church in Flossmoor, Illinois.
Oh yeah. For how long is that?
I've been there about 10 years now.
Oh yeah.
Wonderful congregation. God has placed us in a good community, very diverse community. I enjoy serving the people there. It's a blessing.
Oh man, that's what's up, man. I remember when I knew you back then, you didn't have a church yet.
No, man.
So there's big things has been happening for you.
Things that happen. I'm still at Ford, chaplain at Ford.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I'm leaving sometime today, headed down to International Chaplain Conference.
Okay.
With the Ford and the United Auto Workers organization.
Yeah, you used to also be a committee man, right?
Committee district rep. For 5 years, I served as district rep for United Auto Workers at the Ford Chicago Assembly Plant, Local 551. Okay.
Right. Speaking of that.
Yeah, bring it in.
Now let's go ahead and get in there. Speaking of Local 551, it was a tragedy that happened over at Local 551 the other day. What day was that? Saturday?
Yeah, that happened on Friday night.
Friday night.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Some things happen at the plant, but it does not represent who we are as people in the plant.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to put that out there.
Yeah.
I've been there 21 years. It's like family. We work with a wonderful group of people, and sometimes things happen in family. But we don't want to be quick to judgment. We want to let justice take its place. But unfortunately, some things happen, and it's been in the news. But again, it does not reflect who we really are as a people. United Auto Workers, especially Local 551, is very progressive in the community. They do a lot of things to help the people in the community, the surrounding area. They do a lot of outreach. And so I don't want that one incident to define who Local 551 really is.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I really feel really honored that you came today, because it's a subject or a situation that's going on with Ford. It's to my heart too, because I know a lot of people with Ford. Some of the names that was involved in the incident, were publicly known elected officials, which is Aaron Stacker and Jeff Bacon. I think they just won those positions of bargaining rep.
Yeah, they were recently they served the past 4 years. They were reelected on Friday night, and they're going to be okay. We just have to stand in solidarity, pray for all of them. Also pray for the alleged suspect. I mean, he's still a union brother, and again, we don't want to be quick to judgment.
Right.
We want to let justice take its course.
I mean, for those who don't know, y'all want to, what happened? Or for those who don't know what happened, what happened? Someone got shot. What happened?
Yeah, there was a shooting that took place on the parking lot of our local right after the election. We don't know what took place right now. It's under investigation.
Okay.
So we're not at liberty to say what really took place.
Exactly.
Right now, the authorities are handling it. It's in the hands of the authorities, and that's the way we want to handle it.
Right.
And so we want to hold all the parties up in prayer, because at the end of the day, all the families are affected by what took place.
Yeah,
and
no question.
They're all of our brothers. They're all of our sisters. All the families are being affected. The Ford family is being affected. The local family at 551 is being affected. They will have counselors in the plant throughout the week. They will have people from international plant throughout the week handling what needs to be handled. And I'm sure they would handle it in a respectful type of way.
Just to deal with the trauma of the moment, because just to bring this into a certain light, Ford Motor Company, when you look at across the United States of America, Ford represents one of the last middle class industries that is still thriving, still stabilizing for American families, especially in the Illinois area. Those plants, anywhere a plant is, whether it's Ford, General Motors, in those areas where those jobs are, those are stabilizing jobs for a community. So, and so for something like that to happen in Ford, it was, when you're talking about a shooting, somebody actually got shot, those are forever change. Someone's life is forever going to be changed behind this, and 9 times out of 10, those positions were the type of positions that you kind of strive to get to. You strive to get to a middle class position where you take care of your bills. And for somebody, I guess the point I want to bring out is about this being political season. And if whenever you want to jump in on the concept of the emotions that go on in a political process, period, not just Ford. I'm talking about the political process. Go ahead.
As we see at the international level, even with our presidential campaign right now,
right,
there's a lot of tension, there's a lot of hostility. But at the end of the day, what we have to do is we have to come together and respect one another's differences. We have differences of opinion, but at the same time, we have to respect other people's opinion, other people's differences of opinion, and learn how to sit down at the table, reason together, talk things out, without being hostile or creating a hostile environment. So that's very important. With the election in our Ford plant, of course, there's been some things said and some things done, but at the end of the day, we have to come together, because we're always emphasizing solidarity forever. And if we ever needed solidarity, we need it now, not just in our plant, we need it throughout this country.
Who did that? That's like did you want to say something? That was like going into Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. I'm just going to shift a little bit. We're not going to lose the whole theme of Ford, but I just want to shift a little bit to just say, on the outside, looking at the Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton campaign, what you see is these loyal followers of Bernie Sanders, these real loyal followers, but they all Democrats. So he going against Hillary. You wondering how are they going to be able to turn that off if Bernie Sanders end up getting out of the race? How are you going to be able to turn that emotions off and fall into solidarity behind somebody like Hillary Clinton? But
see, at that point, that's where humility kicks in. When I ran for office inside the local plant, the last time I ran, I lost. But at the same time, I supported whoever got elected. I respected whoever sat in that chair. And, I respected them because the people spoke. And I think that's what has to happen. Once the people speak, then I think it's up to Bernie and all the other party leaders to come together and support whoever's elected in that position. Sometimes when it comes to the elected officials, we don't always agree with them. And then we have to hold them accountable.
Mm-hmm.
We have to hold them accountable, have enough respect for them to go to them if we see something out of line, out of pocket, and hold them accountable. But at the same time, respect the voice of the people. I think in this last presidential election, I'm not sure if the candidates are really listening to the voice of the people. I mean, we have Donald Trump, who his own party is currently rejecting.
Mm.
I've never heard that in the history of politics where their own party is not willing to support them.
Mm.
And I think whoever the elected official is, whoever's chosen to be our next president, I think we need to come together and support them.
When you say the elected official, I mean, you mean the Republican Party are not supporting him? I mean, they voting for him through the primary. So
through the primary, they're voting for him, but his own party leaders are not really supporting him.
And getting in solidarity behind him is what you're saying. Well, I mean, go ahead.
I mean, I agree. I mean, I know the right thing to do is not, try to be side with the party, even though the person you want is not the choice. But I agree with that because when it comes to like Hillary Clinton,
the shades look nice, man.
Oh, thank you, brother. It's summertime. Back to Hillary Clinton. I don't want to vote for her. So
here we go.
Right. It's not even about the woman no more. I don't even want to vote for a Democrat right now.
Why is that?
I mean, this is my opinion. It's not an opinion of Intellectual Radio. This is
Bob.
my own opinion. Oh, Bob. This is TC opinion. But to me, the Democrats right now is messing this world up with their views.
Such as
now the unisex bathrooms.
Okay.
That's
transgender.
Well, the transgender bathrooms where they can go in there. A man can, I guess.
Well, that's not what transgender is, though. Is transgender is just somebody who kind of actually went through the process of having a sex change.
Right. Okay. So
I think let's be fair in saying it like that.
Okay, say it right then.
Okay.
But I don't.
So if they have a sex change,
then
should they, if he, I don't know if they got some kind of stamp on their forehead or something that's gonna tell they got a sex change. But I'm just saying,
right?
Okay.
I wouldn't want no peer. I wouldn't no 6 foot transgender man in the bathroom with my daughter. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm just saying that's my point.
So
I don't like that. I don't like a lot of things that transpired. I love Obama, but I don't like things that transpired on this Democratic this whole last 8 years. I mean, look what's happening. I don't agree with a lot of things in their views no more. And the older I get, I realize I have Republican views. Republican views.
You got Republican views?
Yes.
Such as what, man?
I'm
curious to know.
Such as the
because the UAW
same-sex marriage.
Okay.
I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I'm just my opinion. That don't mean I'm homophobe. That don't mean I have no anger against anyone. I just don't agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's me, And I notice when if you just take the name and cover Republican and cover up the Democrat name and just look at their stances on views, I realize I have more views with the Republicans than I do with the Democrats.
Do you think most people, in a sense, because you're speaking from morally or socially? Because
morally more
to say.
Right.
Do you think? I think a lot of people moralistically are kind of in line with traditional values, so to speak. But I think, say, someone like the UAW or a lot of blue collar jobs, firefighters, teachers unions, the unionized jobs, they more predominantly support Democratic views because the Democrat supports, their livelihood, their interests.
Let me horn in on that. And I agree with you, Robert, because when it comes to organized labor, I think some of the parties are trying to break up what you call the middle-aged family. I think it's a travesty to think that people can live off of $8.25 an hour. And not only that, they turn around and they cut child care spending. They cut out a lot of the education programs, and yet they want people to have successful lives. There's absolutely no way that they can survive off of $8.25. What happens is you end up with latchkey kids. A parent have to work 3 jobs to be able to sustain their family. So who's watching the children while they're working 3 jobs? I mean, it's almost unfounded that they're able to sustain that. Matter of fact, last year I had a chance to go down to Springfield and lobby against the $8.25. I was fighting for the $15 wage increase under the new governor. As you know, you see where we are with the new governor, a Republican. Everything is placed on hold. The schools are not sure. Here we are trying to educate our children, especially in the African-American community, where we try to educate our children, and we're not even certain that our children will be able to attend school next year. And at the same time, most parents in poverty-stricken community cannot afford to pay for private education. So what do we do with that? I think we have to be the voice. We have to be the voice to get out, knock on doors. We have to be the voice that to get the people involved. We have to be the voice to get the next generation involved. When they come to the political process of voting, I'm an advocate of that. They will tell you, I walk the community. I get those who are voting age, get up, get out of the house. If I have to drive them to the poll myself, I make sure that they get to the poll, every household, because a no vote is a vote for the opposition. Mm-hmm. And I think we have to stand up and take a stance in our community.
But how do you as a, okay,
I'm sorry, I gotta go ahead.
I just want to ask them this question before we move on from that. I want to ask you specifically as a pastor, okay? How do you navigate through the issues to a congregation without steering or guiding your congregation in a certain way or in a certain direction? Because you may have your own views based on your own way you make money or your own livelihood personally. If you working at a job that's unionized, I mean, there's favor, you lean that way. So now as a pastor, when you got the moralistic responsibility, how do you not steer your congregation in your way of thinking?
Well, first of all, it's a democracy.
Yeah.
You have a right. You have a right to choose. You have a right to choose. And I don't tell them that they have to be in a union shop. I would love for them to be in a union shop. But my thing is, wherever you hire, make sure that you're the best employee that you can be. And there's opportunity. And also, don't settle. One of the things that I inspire the young people to do is get your education. Don't settle. Because when you settle, you just take the crumbs that people give you.
Right.
You know, but when you go out and put your nose to the grinding stone, then you can kind of set the bar as to where you want to go. And so I encourage them to get out, get the necessary tools, and be the best you can be. I don't care whether it's in construction, I don't care if it's in the hospital, I don't care if it's in management. Whatever you do, make sure you do your best and be the best that you can be. So, of course, you know, for political reasons, I can't stir people. I can't tell them how to vote, but I encourage them to vote. I never tell people how to vote. I would love to, but because I'm a pastor, I'm over the pulpit, we're not allowed to do that. I'm 501c3, and I respect that. But at the same time, I don't tell them how to vote, but I make sure they know the importance of voting.
Mm-hmm. What was you going to say, TC?
I was just getting back at the point.
Good answer, though.
Yeah, it was. I was getting back at the point that he made about the $8.25 an hour thing. Mm-hmm. If you take care of your business as far as going to school, work, and do what you're supposed to do, I don't know nobody that does that make $8.25 an hour. So if that's minimum wage, that's the minimum wage, and they want to raise what the case may be. But if you 45, 50 years old, and that's whatever circumstances leads you to that, you need to more focus on what you're doing wrong as a person and get yourself together. So that $8.25 argument really, I mean, you 15, 16 years old, making $8.25. I don't think that's a problem. I really don't. And if there's a lot of opportunities too. let's put it out there. I'm not making this no Democrat about no Republican thing, because it's not about that to me. Because I think we all should be accountable for our own actions. And there's a lot of things you can do as yourself that you can get away from that 825 hour if you do other things.
I think it speaks more into the fact that salaries, wages, talking about wages, the word wages, are not staying in line with inflation, more so than you being a 40-year failure. That's not, I think, you talking about when the wages do not keep up with inflation for 20, 21 years. When you look at the baseline salaries, even I'm not even talking about the 825 salaries. I'm talking about the salaries that's Ford salaries, $28, $26 an hour. They're still not in line with the pattern of inflation, where you have a CEO of a company not sharing the profits. That's the big discrepancy, or the gap that's created. It's a gap that's created. I'm talking about all throughout. I think that's what the fight is more about. It's not about a specific number. It's about the cost. That's why we call it a cost of living raise, cost of living hike that's implemented in a lot of the union negotiated salaries, because it stays in line, or it's a responsibility, a check and balance to a CEO that says, hey man, share these profits every step of the way, or the steps of the way. We'll negotiate the percentage to make sure everybody is able to keep up with the cost of living. You make $825 an hour. You're not even gonna get a rent apartment for, 600, 550 a month. You down there in that range. You best believe, with everything else you got to be responsible for. So I think the argument is more based on wages being able to stay in line with the cost of living hikes. I think that's the argument, in my opinion. It's not about pointing out whether a person is a failure or not from that argument.
Okay, I know you're gonna get emotional with it. I don't call nobody no failure. I didn't know that's how you took it, and that's how it was taken. That's not what I meant. But
because I make 825. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you make 825, then I'm sorry. I feel sorry what you done did. I'm just being real about it. Go ahead.
One of the things that I've observed, I'm a baby boomer, born in '60. Growing up, we had a community, we had a school system that if you decided not to go on to a university or go on for a degree, we had high schools that taught you some kind of trade. We had Washburn, we had Simeon Vocational, we had CVS, that's a vocational school. We had Tilden Technical School. We had schools that taught you some type of trade. But when you think about it, the trades have been moved from our communities. And so a lot of the young men, when I was growing up, would learn a trade and they would not go off to college. But because of their trade, they were always able to use their hands and sustain their families based upon what they were able to do with their hands. If you look around now, the trades are we don't represent the trades. When you look at the plumbers and electricians, and you look at when you drive down the highway and look at the highway workers, you see a very small representation of us as a people. And I think the trades have abandoned us. And I think even as leaders, as spiritual leaders, as educators, I think it's our responsibility to fight to get those things back. Because I think some of our young men that's hanging on the street will pick up some of those trades and be able, look, if you can work with your hand, you can always feed yourself. And so I agree with you. They have to do something better, but at the same time, they have to be given the opportunity to do something better. You give a man a fish, you eat for a day. You teach him how to fish, you eat for a lifetime.
But you know what? We're here right now with Derek Roberts, pastor. What you go by, pastor, reverend? You go to Derek Roberts. Yeah, we got these are new style pastors. They just want to be called by their regular name, but
I don't blame them.
Yeah, but anyway, we're here on Jaw Jacking with Bob and TC with Derek Roberts and my man TC as always. We're gonna go to break and we'll see you on the other side of the break. We're here talking politics, the influence of politics in America today. Welcome back to Jaw Jacking with Bob and TC on IntellectualRadio.com. Again, that's IntellectualRadio.com. The call-in number is 708-223-8953. Again, the call-in number is 708-223-8953. We're here with Mr. Derek Roberts coming to share his insight with us today. We welcome, as always, welcome to be here again.
Glad to be here.
And my man TC, what you got going on? We got, in light of Muhammad Ali, the passing of Muhammad Ali, one of the self-proclaimed greatest of all time. So if he said enough, you start believing it. If you say it enough, I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest. You start believing it. But what you got a list for us today?
Yeah, I got 10 best pound for pound boxers of all time.
Let's see. Let's listen to this garbage list.
Number 10, right? One of these lists. I already don't agree with it.
What's the source from?
Whatculture.com.
Whatculture.com.
Yeah, and then to me, the other list just was
all the way off. All right, I'm listening.
All right, number 10, they have Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather Jr.?
Jr.
Okay.
Number 10.
Mm-hmm.
Usually.
Floyd Mayweather Jr., number 10.
Yeah, they had number 10.
Number 9.
Man, they got.
Come on, man, you lost, man. What's
Julio Cesar Chavez.
Julio Cesar Chavez.
Yeah, write them down.
Floyd Mayweather. Julio Cesar, go ahead.
All right, hold on. I got to go next.
Come on, TC.
Don't ain't me now. There we go.
Number 8.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
Okay.
All right.
That's the iPad.
Leonard was pretty good.
Marciano.
Rocky Marciano. Undefeated Rocky Marciano is number 7.
Number 7.
10, 9, 8, 7. Okay. Number 6.
Joe Louis, number 6.
Joe Louis, the Brown Bomber.
That's what they had.
Number 6, that's it?
Yeah, number 6 is Joe Louis. Number 5 is Roberto Duran.
Roberto Duran. Hands of Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Roberto Duran. He was pretty good when he was 135.
Number 4 is Harry Greb, G-R-E-B.
Harry what?
Harry G-R-E-B.
G-R-E-B.
Yeah, that was.
I never heard of him. Anyway, number 3.
Willie Pep.
Willie Pep. I believe that's the guy who inspired Rocky. Willie Pep. I believe it was Willie Pep. I believe. Anyway, number 2.
Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali, number 2.
number 1, Sugar Ray Robinson.
Sugar Ray Robinson. I see. That makes sense. What's your list? Your top 5. Let's go 5 instead of 10. Oh, and yours, Derek Roberts.
All right, I'll have number 1, Floyd Mayweather.
Number 1, Floyd. You're a child of era.
This is just the era you in. I'm gonna say we're gonna have the facts back and now get out your heart, and I'm gonna go off the facts.
Easy to say that. He undefeated. Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
Then give me Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali. Okay, number 2.
Number 3, Roy Jones.
Roy Jones
Jr.
Before he started getting his block knocked off.
There's a reason for that too. Come on, number 3.
I'm talking about, when you get knocked unconscious 8 times.
Number 4, Marvin Hagler.
Marvin Hagler. Okay, that was a good one, TC.
Yes, I like Hagler. He got robbed, so I'm just this is my personal list. There's no right or wrong. You
right. I totally.
And then number 5, I had Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson. I am Mike Tyson. What you got there?
I got to go number 1, Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali, number 1.
And of course, I'm going to go with Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather Jr.
You got to throw Rocky in there.
Rocky Mountain, you got to respect that record, huh?
You got to respect it. And Sugar Ray Robinson.
Sugar Ray Robinson.
Yeah.
That's 4.
And then I got to go with Mike.
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson. I got to go with Iron Mike.
Okay.
I mean, crazy as he was, the fight didn't last longer than 1 round. If you're gonna get popcorn, you better get it quick.
Well, my top list is number 1, number 5. I would say Aaron Pryor.
Okay.
I used to love Aaron Pryor. I think nobody wanted to fight him. Sugar Ray wouldn't even fight him. Number 4, I think Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard. These are, of course, the ones I've seen. Number 3 would be Mike Tyson. Number 2, I will go with Muhammad Ali. And number 1, I will go Sugar Ray Robinson. And the only reason why I went number 1 with Sugar Ray Robinson was because Muhammad Ali emulated Sugar Ray Robinson's style. That's why I went with him number 1. He copycatted him, and Sugar Ray Leonard copycatted Ali. So I think that's the list, right?
Your list don't have Floyd on there?
No, I don't think Floyd is one of the greatest fighters of all time. I think Floyd is a benefit of his era. I believe, it's some fighters back in the day that I saw that would really give Floyd Mayweather Jr. problems, like Aaron Pryor, Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, for that matter. Tommy Hearns' length and his power. Roberto Duran when he was young. Those are fights that you just wouldn't be able to just. I mean, I've seen them fight too. And when I was 130-pound fighters to Roy Jones' defense, Roy Jones got knocked out because he moved up out his weight class. He was
one fighter.
He was a menace down there in 160. But once he caught that concussion, it just seemed like he got addicted to him or something.
Yeah, he went up. He went up.
I think the problem is guys don't know when to get out the fight game.
Right.
I think they stay in too long, and it costs them. I mean, I hated to see that happen to him.
Yeah.
And even before he took that fight, we got knocked out. I was telling my son, I think he should get out the fight game.
Yeah.
He's the best pound for pound. He proved everything.
Mm-hmm.
What else is that to prove? I said, if a man get knocked out once, you don't have to get knocked out twice. If you knock a man out once, you don't have to knock him out twice. Get out the fight game. Get paid and let your legacy speak for itself.
He couldn't get paid because he didn't have no fight. That's the reason why he had to go up.
He had enough money. Become an announcer. Do something.
Do something.
Back to your
to get pounded.
Back to your total disrespect of Floyd Mayweather.
Man, come on, man.
Real quick. I didn't know it was so disrespectful. So I mean, you had a little bit more to say to your opinion, who he might have, would have, could have.
Well, you look at Floyd Mayweather Jr., right? And you look at his father fight, Senior.
Okay.
He fight exactly like his father. You look at his father and you put his father in the same era he's in. I think his father's name would have rung a little more solidly because his father was a very good fighter. And his father fought Sugar Ray Leonard, and he was a very polished fighter. I mean, Mayweather Jr. fight exactly like him, and I just think he benefited more from the era because at the era when Mayweather Senior came through, you had Leonard, Hagler, you had some fighters that would knock your block off, and I don't think Mayweather really had that era of fighter. It wasn't the same way we argue about basketball all the time and what era. And I could clearly see that Mayweather benefited from this era. So he's undefeated. I never take that away because you still got to fight. But you just asking me based off of fighters I've seen. I've actually seen how good Aaron Pryor was. So that's just why that's.
So, but I'm saying, that's why I'm asking. Yeah. So, what you saying about in Aaron Pryor? You say he was better, obviously better than.
Yeah, I think he was better than Mayweather. I think Aaron Pryor was tough. I don't want to lose the sight of Muhammad Ali as the subject of why we brought it up. We brought the fight conversation up. I think Muhammad Ali offers so much more to the world than just fighting when he refused to go to the war in Vietnam and the political stand he took. So I don't want to make his life just about fighting. He was just fighting was the platform that gave voice to some other attributes about him that was instrumental in the civil rights fight for blacks in America. You going to say something?
He was an awesome philanthropist. Gave a lot of himself. Gave a lot of finances to causes. He was a humanitarian. He stood for justice, and I think that speaks volumes of itself. Standing for what you believe in. I mean, he lost almost 4 years of his career because he took a stand on what he believed. But when you take a stand on what you believe, you see what happened when he came back. He came back even stronger than what he was before he left.
Yeah.
And by him reaching out to people and becoming this humanitarian, I always say this. I say, what you do for others, what you make happen for others, God will make happen for you. And I think he opened the doors for a lot of athletes, not just in boxing, but throughout athletics. I think he did a wonderful job in opening doors.
And I believe he was instrumental in introducing the Islam religion to a lot of Americans, because by him changing his name, by him going as far as taking a stand and changing his name to Muhammad Ali from Cassius Clay. At a time when the civil liberties was being challenged of blacks in America, it was important for them to identify with, wait a minute, maybe my true religion wasn't Christianity. And I think Muhammad Ali was instrumental in making people of the Islamic religion appealing to blacks just based off the oppression of Christianity. So I think that was another instrumental part I think he played in opening the eyes of blacks to say, why don't you search a little deep into your own background, your own history of yourself. Malcolm X, that X last name, ain't no, those last names are predominantly, Robert Orr. Like, what black dude named Orr? So that means those last names were passed down. You trace those back, it's gonna be some white dude at the end, or it ain't no black folks name. You know what I'm saying? That's all. I think that was an instrumental sacrifice that he took, a bold stand he took, that always should be acknowledged.
Yeah, I think Muhammad Ali was a great athlete, period. He's a great man.
Yeah.
I wasn't there when it was happening, but do your research and you see what he stood for, and it was great. So, but I like to put things in perspective, because like you talk about errors, right? Muhammad Ali is a reason why I like Muhammad Ali. It's the same reason why I like Mayweather, because they both talk a lot of trash and they both backed it up. That's why Muhammad Ali and Mayweather was, like, to me, my 1 and 2. I just took Mayweather over him because I look at past boxing. Mayweather took everybody out of his business and made it his own business. And that's a lot of reasons why the meeting, everybody, in my opinion, was getting at him, because he was keeping his money with his people. And he changed boxing like no other person when it comes as having total control over your career, the money he making. I mean,
it was good.
That to me, that's he trendsetting, and they trying their best to stop that. They don't want no more Mayweathers. But I think Muhammad Ali in this era, with all the talking, it'd have been took different, because he was boastful, but he's bagging it up. And I love people that speak their mind and back it up. That's just how I am. I love that about Muhammad Ali. But if you look at Muhammad Ali and where he will engage with his opponent and trash talk and do what he do, then you see Mayweather and it's all the old guys. Oh, I can't stand him. He brag. He talk too much. I'm like, wait a minute. Your favorite boxer, Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali did the same thing. And I just feel like them two guys should be respected for what they do. They don't wait and just say the little punchline. They let you know on the door, I'm great. This you're gonna have to deal with.
I mean, you always like smack talkers. You like trash talkers. That's all.
I like people that back it up what they say. That's a difference.
All right. Well, we got to take another break. We're gonna take this other break, the last break of the show. Come back with Derek Roberts on Jaw Jacking with Bob and TC on Intellectual Radio. Welcome back to Jaw Jacking with Bob and TC on IntellectualRadio.com. We're here with our special guest, Mr. Derek Roberts. I probably beat you in the jumper contest now.
Oh, no, I'm a good set shot shooter. I can still shoot it. It's like riding a bike, baby. You don't lose the jumper.
I got to try to wait till you get old, man, because I remember that. I thought I had a good jumper, but man.
Oh, I'm near 60 pretty soon.
Are you for real?
56. Yeah, so I'm
wow.
getting up there. But my jumper's still good. I can't leave the ground. I'm still on the ground.
Oh, man.
All right, Derek Roberts, you know, we put the gloves on this show now. I don't know if Bob told you, we put the gloves on.
Yeah, we put the gloves. We'll put the gloves on. What you got?
Put the gloves on right now for this last little 10 minutes. We got to do the same thing we did with Jason Perry.
Okay.
I'm sure before. So I have a question for you. You know, we had a pastor here before, and he gave. So I'm gonna ask you the same question. With all the thing that's going on with the ministries and pastors out here, and I know you can't speak for me. You only just speak for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think that contribute to what's going on in the neighborhoods also when the boys saying they can't trust the police, you can't trust your own reverend, you can't trust nobody? Do you think that affects the community also?
I think there's a lot of things that's affecting community right now. First of all, I'm a baby boomer. I grew up in the 60s where we were all family. On the block, we were all family. You didn't come on our block and create no havoc on our block because we were family. We sat on each other's porch. We walked in each other's kitchen. The mother next door was my mother. The mother up the street was my mother. We were all family, so we can't put it all on the church. Although part of it is the responsibility of the church, because there used to be a time where the church was the voice of the community, and now, you know, to a degree, it's become kind of business oriented.
Thank you.
And people commute into the church and don't live in a neighborhood where the church exists, and so forth. So sometimes, you know, they don't take ownership of the community. I think as a pastor, we still have the obligation to get outside of the four walls and embrace the community. I've always been involved in the community. I didn't just start becoming involved in the community when I became a pastor. I mentored and coached basketball in the community in Inglewood. I'm from Inglewood.
Right.
I just happened to move out to Homewood. But I let everybody know I'm from Inglewood. And not only that, I go back to Inglewood. I moved out of Inglewood. I still own property in Inglewood. I still go back to Inglewood because Inglewood is my heart, is where I come from. And so we have to go back. We have to engage those young people in the community. Don't wait to get to know them once they become 20. You need to get to know them when they're 4 and 5. And that way you will earn and gain their respect. And as a result, they will respect you. I go back to Inglewood. I got young men who I mentored, I coached. I look forward to seeing them. I go check on them when they get in trouble. I'm available. They call me. I'm not one of them pastors that hide behind a text message. I'm not a pastor that hide behind cell phones and emails. If you need me, I'm available in the community. I think it comes down to integrity too. The reason why they can't trust some leaders is because of integrity. One thing that you need to have, if nothing else, is integrity. When I was growing up as a young man, my dad taught me, he said, always keep a good name. He said, you may not have money, but if you have a good name, you can still do some things. And I think it's important that we maintain our integrity as leaders in the community. And we have to be the voice that the other people don't hear. So we have to be the voice of the people. See, some people never see certain people in the community. They won't hear them. And so we, as leaders, as pastors, we have to be that voice. I have to go to the alderman's office. I have to go to City Hall. I have to go down to the school. You know, when my kids were in a grade school and high school, I was working nights with Rob here. You remember, I was working nights, so I was available in the daytime. Most of my days were spent at the school. I wasn't a teacher. I wasn't a janitor. I was a parent.
He was a parent.
And as a result, I got to know many of the young kids in the community. And when they walked through the community, they were doing things that they were not supposed to be doing. First thing they said, hey, cut that out. There go Mr. Roberts. I've earned that respect because I was present. Sometimes young people just want to know that you care about them. They don't want to know how much you know until they know how much you care.
Yeah, that's real. Yeah, it's true. Go ahead.
It is. No, that was a good point. Good answer. Good answer.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Well,
No, the reason why I brought that up, because let's just keep it real. We ask questions. Well, I make sure I ask a question that everybody want to hear. We're not gonna sit up here and just talk all good. We want some of those hard questions also especially about being in the pastor and how the community, some communities, especially the ones that's going through a lot of poverty and gangs and police brutalities, and this is, you know, a lot of pastors in certain areas makes it look bad. And I just feel like that's why I asked you that question, was because when we want to give the kids hope, everybody say give them hope. But if you can't trust the police around your neighborhood, and then the other, and these are men, as another example, because a lot of them don't have a father in the home, then you go try to talk to the pastor, you see the pastor ways just like another man in the street. You know, I think that does bring hope down also. So I just want to ask your opinion. I like your answer.
Well, they got to be accountable, and every leader has to have a leader that's going to hold his feet to the fire. You know, as a pastor, I don't just pastor without somebody being over me. Everybody that lead has to be led. And so don't think because you're a pastor that you're not accountable. You need to be accountable to somebody. I know you're accountable to God, but there's somebody that's a physical presence that you ought to be accountable to. And that person needs to hold you accountable when you're not walking worthy of the vocation in which you've been called.
Yeah, but one of the impossibilities, I think, of everything we talk about, every guest we have on the show, everything we do, one of the impossibilities that we have is how do we even identify when somebody's not right? Everybody sound right. I'm just not talking about pastors. I'm talking about politicians. Everybody got they pitch going on, promises, they false promise. I think President Obama, when he was running, had probably one of the best vision of hope and change. We all believed it, but we didn't know when the door shut where the compromise had to occur, which would, You don't know. I don't know what's your price. I don't know what your price of compromise is. And you don't know what it is until you sitting there across the table from some other influential people. You know, and it don't get played out in the public. So, and I think that's impossible to be able to identify. And we will never be able to identify that. You sound beautiful when you speak. It's to the dough shack, and it's just all millionaires in there. You got a $50,000 job, and you one of the people, but they like, we ain't doing that.
You still want to call any names. We saw that happen in the last tour. You saw that happen. And the thing is, again, you know, you have to hold people accountable. Look, when you go to that poll, especially with officials, you know, you get to vote. Now, how the vote goes, it has the people determine that. If you're not getting the things that you need in your community, why are you supporting people that's not standing with you for the things that's necessary in your community?
That's right.
It's not about friendship. I tell people all the time, look, whatever I run for, I run on merit. When I ran as a rep in a plant, I told them, don't vote for me because I'm your friend. Vote for me on merit. Vote for me because I'm going to do the job. Vote for me because you trust that I'm going to do the job. And then when I'm not doing the job, when you go to the poll, make sure you don't vote for me. And so, you know, we have to take a stance. We have to take a stance because you know, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Before you leave, I want you to do this. I want you to talk to your UAW 551 brothers and sisters who has just suffered a tragedy.
Yeah, it's deep.
I want you to talk to them and give them something that they could hold on to and stand in solidarity for before you leave.
Yeah. Thanks, Robert. You know, first of all, you know, to my union brothers, 551, again, there's been a tragedy that's taking place in a family. I mean, sometimes things happen in a family we don't understand, but at the end of the day, we're still family. So we have to again pray for one another. We let the officials do what they need to do. Again, not be quick to point the finger. We got some new elected officials. We still have runoffs to take place. We haven't defined who's the chairman going to be yet. You know, Chris Pena won for president. We have to get behind those people, rally behind those people, respect one another to the point that let people have their opinion, but at the same time, respect their opinion. Don't fall out with them. We have to continue to build cars that people are going to buy, people of integrity. We still have to love one another. We still have, at the end of the day, we are walking in solidarity. And how can two walk together except they be in agreement? And so we have to come together. We have to come together, support each other, especially at this day and time, at this juncture of our careers, of our life, our livelihood. We have to come together and support one another. One of the articles in our Constitution, Article 41, Section 2, tells us that we have to support one another in death, in stress, in difficult times. We as a union, brothers and sisters, we have a responsibility and an obligation to support our sisters and brothers when they're going through. It may be their turn today, it may be our turn tomorrow. But whatever the case, we need to come together and hold each other up.
And Derek Roberts on email, where can we find you if somebody wanted to talk to you?
Always me at Restoration of Faith Church .net. I'm also on Facebook, Restoration of Faith Church on Facebook. I'm also on Facebook as Derek Roberts. You'll see me out there. Again, I don't hide behind social media. If you send me a message, I'm up at 3:30 in the morning checking emails. So
thank you very much for coming, my brother.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to Joe Jackin with Bob and TC on IntellectualRadio.com. We will see you next week. Peace.